Mercury enters Taurus, and Venus rules Taurus. That's what all the astrologers say. Yeah, maybe the basic astrologers. Welcome to my channel, Constructive Interference. I am Christina Frost, the Mad Medicine Woman, with good reason. Please check out my story. Looking for the signs. Mercury enters Taurus. Perfect for music. And all the astrologers want to tell you and remind you where Venus is because Venus rules Taurus. Wrong! The higher mind of Taurus is actually Volcan. Esoterically speaking, Taurus, ruled by Volcan, growth through change, illumination and enlightenment, the blacksmith of the gods. So who is Volcan, the sole ruler of Taurus? The mysterious planet hidden between Sun and Mercury. Volcan is Hephaestus, husband of Venus. Volcan forges the path ahead and in the fires of experience fashions the lead of personality into the chalice of the soul. Because remember, the keynote of Taurus is I see, and when the eye is open, all is light. To release personal desires and attachments. Vulcan was the son of Zeus and Hera, and in Greek myth was known to rule Virgo, and that's why we celebrated Vulcanalia in Rome on the 23rd of August when we entered Virgo. Higher mind of Virgo is the moon. Mother. Is Vulcan a moon? To summarize, Vulcan is a gas giant's moon for the following reasons. Vulcan is very geologically active, which can be explained with tidal interactions in the same way as Jupiter's moon Io is. What planets are Vulcans from? Well, Spock. Vulcan is fictional. The star system it belongs to, 40 Eridani, is actually very real though. It's located only 16.5 light years away from Earth. The planet between Mercury and the Sun that was never there, Vulcan, for the 60 years between 1859 and 1919, even the most brilliant astronomers were adamant that there existed a planet between Mercury and the Sun. Following along with Mercury, Vulcan will be right there behind. And as the Sun also merges from Aries to Taurus, check out my video on the planets in Taurus and how that will affect you. Mercury in Taurus communicates firmly and insistently. Stubborn beliefs, approaches. They argue for existing approaches and the old ways of doing things. The second house is the house of wealth, or the use of life's spiritual energies, how we give that energy and how it's received back to us. Possessions, holding on to objects and feelings, how we gather and store fruits of our endeavors, the acquisition and retaining of money. Entrepreneurs will have a strong second house. This includes art, furnishings, plants, places. Beware of clutter and inability to let go of relationships, ideas of love, individuals, wealth, knowledge, social ideas, freedom of expression. So Vulcan has been in Aries moving its way into Taurus. In Aries, Vulcan comes to play to detach you from serving and feeding your ego. An individual with this placement, or as we've been experiencing, is likely to have a strong individuality at this time. They are confident, but also might be too righteous. Thank you, Aries season. Cocky and self-centered. This individual is forced to learn how to be more giving, to be more sensitive to others' emotions and ideas. After the transformation, learning this individual is likely someone who can help break down others' ego so they can reach a more understanding and higher state of consciousness. Vulcan in Taurus. Vulcan comes to teach about detachment, and a lot of times this is a painful lesson for the individual. Loss of possessions and people are associated with this time period and transformation. Vulcan pushes this individual to rely less on material comforts, personal attachments, emotional bindings, and to instead rely on one's own internal security and stability, and to find an inner harmony and peace with themselves. Once the individual is free of attachments, they can find a lot of inner strength and can begin finding new purposes in their life. So as we move through this season, what are we heading to next when Gemini enters? Where are we entering next? When Vulcan enters Gemini, Vulcan comes to help connect this individual to others. This person is likely highly detached and even hostile to those who want to form close relationships with them. Gemini is about communication, but this individual is practicing negative influences of Mercury with strong opinions, harsh insults, gossip. Vulcan ideally brings people into this person's life who can connect with them mentally, who can expose their inner self and be intimate. Vulcan could also find ways to expose their inner fears, insecurities, as well as positivity and inner light to others through circumstances. So a real need to let go of these attachments, to find our own personal self-worth, and how do we communicate that with others and appreciate others for who they are. So if you're an Aries rising, Mercury is entering into your second house, which is intelligent in business, may push ideas a little too hard. Again, Mercury is in Taurus is very firm and insistent, stubborn. In that second house of wealth, possessions, spiritual values and gifts, how we give and receive our value back. For Taurus, Mercury is entering your first house. Intelligent, talkative, persuasive, anxious, maybe anxious. That first house, traditionally ruled by Aries, is fiery, and Mercury is the higher mind of Aries, very quick moving, wants to get going, wants to get things done, and maybe you might put some pressure on yourself to accomplish those things and create anxiety, or even the need to have to speak through certain things, speaking up, maybe speaking up for yourself. In the first house, this will be opposite of the seventh of other people, so keep that in mind, and keeping other people in mind and their feelings. Gemini, Mercury is entering your 12th house. Imaginative, makes secret arrangements and reports. This is what's hidden to everybody else. This is our private inner life that's represented by the 12th house. So these could be secret plans that maybe only you know about, or maybe that you want to keep hidden from people for a while, or always. It could have to do with something of private institutions or private organizations that you're a part of. That 12th house being very spiritually, institutionally, or even hospitals, spending time there maybe, and not telling other people, or maybe they don't know why you're visiting prisons or hospitals, things like that. Mercury does represent those short distance travels, those shorter commutes, those day-to-day duties and errands. Cancer, Mercury is moving into your 11th house, informative and keen on study groups. Maybe these are groups that have meant something to you for a long time. When we think of Taurus and the stability of Taurus, the values, maybe this is a group that really values you, that you get to spend time with, or you're looking forward to spending time with, want to spend more time with, maybe want to make arrangements to spend more time with those groups. Leo, Mercury is entering your 10th house. Easily noticed communicator. That's good to know. Leo rising. And a natural spokesperson. The 10th house is our social status, or which social status we hope to ascend to and be known for. Possibly really taking action on those kind of dreams for the long term, how we wish to be known and wish to be seen, what our career is, what we'd be best at, what we're moving towards, what we wish to move towards, really taking action in that house. Virgo, Mercury is entering your 9th house. Keen to know and learn everything, maybe overconfident. The 9th house is our spiritual house of spiritual growth, cultures, other higher learning, ruled by Jupiter. And actually the higher mind of Sagittarius in the 9th house is the earth itself and our very physical progress in this lifetime and spiritual progress in this lifetime. Sometimes that means traveling abroad or studying outside of what we've traditionally been taught. Maybe instead of going to church, now we're going to see other cultures and other religions. We could be getting into esoteric knowledge and the secret occult learning, higher spiritual learning. Libra, Mercury is entering your 8th house. Naturally curious to understand, may seem nosy. Mercury in the 8th house does want to find answers. The 8th house traditionally ruled by Scorpio, which is the higher mind of Mars and also the lower mind of Pluto, that death, rebirth, regeneration, reconstruction from the ground up all over again. Digging things from underneath the earth, underneath the surface, the emotions of water, the fixed water of Scorpio, trying to dig and find the truth. You can tell a Scorpio's gaze. They are looking for the truth. Sagittarius. Mercury is moving into your 6th house. Best working in communication or cataloging, but avoid mental stress. The 6th house is our service and work, our health, our daily routines, the health of others, the health of our pets. Very busy, what we're doing for work and for money as well. And Mercury is going to go retrograde in the earth signs in 2023. All the Mercury retrogrades are in earth signs, from Capricorn, Virgo, back to Capricorn, Taurus. All the earth signs are experiencing the retrograde, which says something about our physical values, how we give that service, and our spiritual offering, and how we get that back is really coming to the forefront, especially with our merchant Mercury, the magician who's able to fashion things together and create wealth. He can negotiate, he can barter, he can speak, he can contract. Capricorn, Mercury is entering your 5th house. Confident with words and ideas, but needs objectivity. The 5th house also has to do with children, but it's about joy, pleasant experiences. Sometimes when we have planets there, it may hinder that pleasant experience. I know a young boy that has Saturn in his 5th house of Leo, and he's been told he couldn't play sports when he was in school for certain conditions. So really put a limit on that ability to have fun. Mercury in this 5th house is maybe making plans and setting up ideas to have fun. Maybe our way of having fun is expressing some of these ideas. Maybe we're enjoying some kind of venture or entrepreneurship venture with Mercury there. Maybe something within our routine, something with our children, maybe bringing us some joy and some pleasant experiences. Aquarius, Mercury is moving into your 4th house. Bright and intelligent, home life full of variety. Again, Mercury being those day-to-day activities, our speaking up, how we're communicating with other people, communicating within the home. Maybe we're bringing lots of people over. Maybe people are coming to visit us. Maybe we're getting outside and being nicer, at least here in Detroit, enjoying the backyard. Maybe making upgrades to the home, that Mercurical, again, spending money and bringing some goods into the home and home projects. Pisces. Mercury is entering your 3rd house, traditionally ruled by Gemini, those short journeys. Mercury is very comfortable in that 3rd house. Quick thinking, naturally curious. Gemini loves to ask questions, is always thinking, that mutable air sign of Gemini that rules that 3rd house. Mercury is comfortable moving that quickly. Might get a little bit exhausted there. You might notice your breathing even, that rules the lungs, might increase as well. So remember, just take long, slow breaths. Biology does matter. It is affected by astrology. It is the cause and effect, the subjective and objective physical result. So let me know where Mercury in Taurus is for you, how this is affecting you, where you're feeling it, how you're seeing the signs. Constructively interfered down below. I am Christina Frost, the Mad Medicine Woman, with good reason. Please go check out my story. How I share my Cherokee Elders lessons from Western Carolina University. How my Buick exploded and I'm fighting for the wrongful death of my children. Please go check it out. And my comeback story in the Rapture begins in Detroit. Peace and love to all of you. Constructively interfere down below.